Thank you for joining us today at Unity Spiritual Center. We are in an inclusive spiritual community where we recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and with each other. Before we start today, I don't know if you saw the news shared in Thursday's e-blast, but our dear friend Michael Elmore, our former longtime sound engineer, transitioned this past Wednesday. Michael was a beloved member of our community, and indeed the larger Colorado Springs community, where he was a musician for decades. We will organize a tribute to him in the next few weeks. For today, please join with me to say the unity blessing for Michael and his loved ones, and then let's observe a moment of silence. Michael, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. Thank you. Guest musician Paul Switzer is with us today. Paul, would you lead us in our first song?
Morning, everyone. Let's start with Sanctuary. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Wow, so beautiful. We're here to be living sanctuaries, to be the living manifestation of the One. So I invite you to take a breath and just go within for a moment in gratitude that we are able to connect this way. So we are grateful that no matter what, we're able to connect. And this is an opportunity to realize that we are non-local beings. We are non-local beings. We might be physically in different places, but we can connect heart to heart, mind to mind in the highest mind, the mind of the divine, the mind of our Creator. I love that. I am one with the source of all creation. I am one with the source. And that's how we come together in this knowingness. In my oneness, I connect. So join me now in prayer as we set the tone, going within, taking a breath, opening our hearts, And just breathing to your heart for a moment, that place in us that is the living sanctuary, the place that we can come to over and over again to find comfort, to find peace, to find inspiration, guidance, and to catch the highest vision that God has for our lives. It is a place where we know that all is well, no matter what the appearances. So we breathe into this place and we see a beautiful, beautiful light and we shine it forth to the center as we create a sacred container for healing, for possibilities, for catching the highest vision that God has for our lives. And I'm not talking about a God out there, I'm talking about the living, loving presence that we are, the awareness of the totality of existence that is right where you are. And so we breathe into this place with joy, with gratitude, with possibilities, knowing the truth that sets us free. And for this and so much more, we are grateful. And take a moment to just visualize yourself filled with the light. I am light and I'm here to shine my light, to be a presence of peace no matter what. And see your heart smiling. And we give thanks for a wonderful service. We give thanks for everyone that is serving today. And so it is. Namaste.
I'd like to sing a song by Dave Carter. It's called The Gentle Arms of Eden. And it's a song about home and a song about, it's the story of us. On a sleepy, endless ocean, when the world lay in a dream, there was rhythm in the splash and roll, but not a voice to sing. So the moon shone on the breakers, and the morning warmed the waves, till a single cell did jump and hum with joy as if to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray through the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then the day grew bright and rounder, till the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, and old things into new. And on some virgin beachhead, one lonesome critter crawled, and he looked about and shouted out in his most astonished drawl, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray through the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then all the sky was buzzing, and the ground was carpet green, and the wary children of the woods went dancing in between, and the people sang rejoicing when the fields were glad with grain, this song of celebration from their cities on the plain. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. And And should I stray through the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. La 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 la. La 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 la. Now there's smoke upon the harbor and factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will and enterprise of war. But I will lay my burdens on the shoulders of your grace, and the shining beaches of your love, and the sea of your embrace. This is my home. This is my only home. This is the only sacred ground I have ever known. And should I stray through the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Elizabeth.
Thank you, Paul. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Take a breath with me. Home. Where is home? Home is right where we are, the very sacred space, the sanctuary where we know and we know that we know that we are one with the source of all creation. That is home. And yet, do we always remember that? Do we remember that? Well, I can only speak for myself, but I have to pay attention to remember that I am safe and that all is well no matter what. And I have to have a toolbox with me always. And from the moment I wake up in the morning, I really have to set the tone for the day. That is my work. And I think it's all of us at work. If we are somehow part of this community, it is because we're being called to something greater. We're being called to live the truth that we know. That's our calling. And I want to begin by saying that April is National Volunteers Month. So I just want to take a moment to shout out to all of you that volunteer. And I don't like to call it volunteer. I like to call it sacred servers. You know, I shared that with you when I was in Colorado Springs, which, by the way, what a beautiful place you live in. You know, it is heaven. So when we serve, we get out of the way. We move from the little me to the big picture, from the little story to the big story. So we're all here to be givers of life. And now, right now, we're in this midst of this time of Lent. The way that Unity interprets it, it's a time of release and renewal. Releasing what does not serve us and really paying attention what we must let go of and what do we want to focus on. So I'm going to invite you just a couple of weeks before Easter, which is really about the awakening, the renewal of our souls. That the Easter story is our story, our renewing, our rebirthing. So during this time of transition, this time of renewal, it is a time to do the deep work, to really dive deep and really say, okay, what's no longer serving me? What are some of the beliefs that are holding me back from living the fullness of life that I was meant to live? Is my life on purpose? Take a moment to just be willing to question that. Is my life on purpose? Am I passionate about my life? And if not, what is stopping you? That's the release. And watching our thoughts. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Really, those limiting thoughts, it's time to release them. It's all energy. We're in a field of vibration of pure beingness, all energy. And in this energy, there's always like some letting go, some releasing, and some creation. So this is the time of really working with what must I release? What must I focus on? And in my toolbox, one of the things that I keep is the work of doing visioning work, visioning for my life, and is my life in alignment to a greater vision? So there's two things here: my life's vision, my life's purpose, and me being part of a community. Am I in alignment with everything? Am I giving my life over to something greater? And as we focus on our divine purpose, is my divine purpose in alignment with my divine gifts, the gifts of spirit? And we want to bring them forth. They're there, but it's up to us to turn the light. And one of them is faith. Right now, I think our faith needs to be strong. Faith in that everything is always working for good. Faith that wherever I am fine, because I am one with the source of all creation. Is my faith strong? There's a quote, and I don't know who said this, but there's a quote that says, fear knocked at the door, faith answered, no one was there. When we face any challenge with faith, fear disappears. What is there to be afraid of when our life is in alignment with spirit, when we're being pulled by a vision, when we have clarity about our life's purpose, when we know that no matter what, nothing can touch or harm the very core of our being, that life is eternal. And that way we can stretch beyond our stopping points. And we can catch the highest vision that the divine, the presence of the holiest within us is always calling us to be more, to express more. And paradoxically, it's all happening here and now, because there's nowhere to go but here. So the journey is always from here to here. But is my life in alignment with the greatest possibilities of sharing my divine gifts? Again, seva, being of service to something greater. So catching the divine vision, which is what I want to talk about today, is like your GPS. It's your guidance. It's your your God gift, and it has to be aligned with your purpose. So ask, what is my life's purpose? What am I really good at? What brings me joy? What brings me joy? What is it that I can do for hours and just lose myself in? Because we all have divine gifts. All of us have divine gifts. So we want to bring that forth to something greater. And I want to share one of my favorite stories from the Bible. And again, your mind might go, oh, the Bible, that happened thousands of years ago. Well, guess what? That the Bible is really the story of our own evolution, of our own consciousness, of our own development. So this story that I'm going to share is really about us, about our story. And there's always many layers for us to really get the juice out of these stories. And so one of my favorite ones is the story of Joseph. Joseph with his beautiful colored gown, he represents so many different aspects of ourselves. There's so many layers to this story. He was a man of vision. He was all about dreams and creativity and catching divine vision, imagination, and he had this gift and joyful. And guess what? His brothers got jealous. Have you ever experienced somebody being jealous of you and betraying you? Raise your hand if you've ever experienced having someone really being jealous of you and betraying you. I think we all have gone through that, and it hurts. It really hurts. But as long as we're holding on to that, who is harming who? We're harming ourselves. So yes, Joseph represents imagination, vision, but it is also a story of forgiveness, of letting go, of release. Because as long as we're holding on to unforgiving thoughts, we are taking the poison and expecting somebody else to drop down. You know? So this is a time to get really real. Is there anything that I need to let go of? What am I really focused on that is not serving me? And bless the person or the situation. And if you can't, just give it to God. I release this. Sweet Spirit, guide me. I cannot do this. I call forth the Christ of my being. I call forth the Holy Spirit, the activity of God within me. And I say, I give this over to something greater. So yes, it's a story about forgiveness. It is a story about vision, about imagination, and about acceptance. Acceptance of the situation. You cannot shift and change the situation until you come to terms of this is what's happening. As long as you resist it, guess what? You're out of coherence. So it's that. And it is also about freedom from giving his power over to outer circumstances, because we have that power of choice. Our Creator loved us so much that gave us the power of choice. At any moment, we can focus on what's missing, what we don't have, or we can be in gratitude and focusing on that we have. See, Joseph was never a victim of circumstances. He knew how to rise up. And this is what vision is really about, rising up to the peak of our lives, to climbing the highest mountain that we were meant to climb. And I know that you have a beautiful peak there, Pikes Peak. So the Pikes Peak of our own soul, we're here to rise up. So yes, the brothers betrayed him. They sold him to slavery. He ends up in Egypt. He had it fine for a while. He had a good master, but the master's wife, wanted something more from him than he was, and he was respectful. So she created a story and he ends up in jail. But even after he was betrayed again and he's in jail, he still gave of his gifts. He was still interpreting the other prisoners' dreams. He started interpreting the guards' dreams. And that is how the Pharaoh came to know of his gifts, because the guards told the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh called him in because he had been having these dreams of famine and 7 years of famine. And so Joseph interpreted the Pharaoh's dreams of 7 years of famine, but he didn't stop there. See, he was a giver of life. He also shared a plan, what to do so that when it came through, you were prepared. Because when you're willing to face the truth, you're also prepared. When you're divinely guided, you're not in some fantasy. You're really telling the truth. We're divine, but we're having this human experience. So it's both. And so when it did come to, and the Pharaoh made him, the highest ranking officer in the nation. So, what a gift. He gave, but he received. And then when the famine did come to pass, the brothers come because they're starving where they are, and they come to ask for help. And at first they didn't recognize him. It took a while until Joseph says, they recognized him and they were very, very apologetic. And Joseph says, no. What man meant for evil, God meant for good. Everything ultimately works for good because there is such a thing as divine order. There is a divine order always calling us to our greatness, always taking the worst situations in this human experience and making it something bigger, better. So in any times where we're going through a challenge, we can really bless it because there is a blessing in that situation, and just ask, Gosh, let me see the gift in this, and calling forth divine order. Now, Joseph's brothers, metaphysically, just as metaphysically, Joseph represents imagination, forgiveness, freedom, acceptance, and so on. Joseph's brothers also live in us. Yeah. They are those thoughts, those limiting thoughts that are not spiritualized. I like to call them monkey mind. And how do they work? Well, it works like this, because God is always, the divine in us is always giving us divine ideas, is always giving us vision and, really opportunities for our lives. But it works like this, these thoughts, these limiting thoughts, this is what we have to watch. The brothers are here and they want to have a coup. So we want to really watch them because they work like this. Oh, you're inspired. You got this wonderful idea. And the brothers go, yeah, right. Come on, you, a business? What do you know about that? You have no experience. You don't have the education. You don't have the money. Come on, you will fail. That will never work. You, a diet? How many times have you tried dieting? Vacation? No, come on. Look at all the things that could happen. So those are the thoughts we have to watch. We notice them, we don't ignore them, but we say, thank you. Isn't this interesting? Thank you for sharing, but you are not my truth. Let's say that together. You are not my truth. I am here to catch the divine vision for my life, that my life is on purpose. My life, I want my life to be on purpose, that I'm guided, pulled by a vision. And then we continue to ask in our time of prayer and meditation, God, show me the highest, the greatest vision that you have for my life. If my life was on purpose, if I truly am living the values that are important for me, what is my life like? What would it look like? And really listen to your energy. And the vision is not something out there somewhere. Remember, that's your GPS. It's a journey to always to here and now. It is about feeling that power in you, feeling the possibilities, and then day by day, moment by moment, asking and sharing the light that you are, turning in to, okay, so today, guide me, show me, what is that one little step that I need to take towards living my life on purpose? Small little steps, good habits that will make a change, and watching our thoughts. And so this week, I'm going to invite you all to really sit in meditation with paper and pen. I mean, you can do it in a computer, but I like paper and pen. There's something about that intimacy, and really writing, and asking and write and journal. What is my life's purpose? Right now, what am I being called to? Is my life on purpose? What do I need to renew myself in? And even go back to when you were a child. What did you love? What is it that I have forgotten about myself? Some of the skills, the talents that I bring, now that I can share. And I can share with my community, that I can share with the world. And then what do I value? What are some of the values that are important for me? And I will share with you about, and then write your divine purpose, write your purpose. And I'm going to write to you, I'm going to share with you what I wrote about my purpose and some of my values that are important for me. And every morning in my time, in my sacred time, after I meditate and pray and I drink my coffee, that I journal, I take some time to read this. And so my purpose is, I inspire people to live their life fully, to awaken to their divinity and embrace their humanity. And then how do I do this? My vision, I do that by coaching, teaching, speaking, consulting, writing, and creating opportunities, retreats for people to see their greatness. That's my calling. That's what I'm committed to. That's my life. And then some of the values that are important for me is love, because without love, there is nothing. God is love. I am love. Everything to me is a play of consciousness, a play of love. And love, centered in love, my thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony. I practice loving kindness, compassion. That's my thing. I'll read a couple of them. Clarity. I'm willing to inquire into all thoughts and beliefs, to clarify my mind as I embrace truth and to communicate clearly. And then I'm not going to read everything I have, but to me, art. I love art. I love beauty, authenticity, adventure, integrity, and healthy lifestyle. These are important things that I focus on, and generosity. So I read this, and maybe one day I'll focus more on one than the other. And then I tune in, check in. Is my life on purpose? Am I living the life that I'm called to? Am I living in alignment with the principles that I believe that are important for me? So this is my invitation to you in doing this time of letting go, of releasing and transforming our lives as we renew ourselves. This is the time of the spring of our lives. Do this work this week. Journal, question, ask questions. Is my life on purpose? What do you value? And it will continue to reveal itself, and ask the divinity in you, what is the highest purpose that you have for my life? What is the highest vision? I'm ready to climb the highest mountain in my soul. So let's go into the time. Let's prepare to a time of going within. And I just want to read something that I wrote in this book as we prepare to go within in a time of meditation. So I'm going to read a little bit. The sweetness of spirit embraces and renews my soul. See, you are the creator of your life story, and you have the power within you to choose where you focus your attention. So instead of being drained by drama, you can create a radiant life filled with delight, joy, and peace. Stay tuned to your inner life. If you are feeling drained, pause, and as you center yourself in prayer, in the stillness, in the divine essence of all there is, taking the time for self-care and self-love. I listen. I listen. You are worthy. You matter. You belong to the beloved. Rest as pure awareness. Be willing to continue to expand in joy, in love, in light, as you delight and immerse yourself in beauty within and around you. And now I invite you to go within, take a breath, close your eyes as we take this time of meditation to settle in that place where we know and we know that we know our oneness with Source. I am one with the source of all creation. I am one with the totality of existence. And I know that I can come here over and over again to listen, to be guided, to ask. Ask and you shall receive. And so, resting as pure awareness in the silence, we ask, presence of all there is. I am in tune with you, holy of holy. Show me and guide me. What is my divine purpose? I am ready to live my life to the fullness. I'm ready to stretch and to climb the highest mountain I was meant to climb. My inner mountain of strength, of power, of magnificence. I'm ready to reach the peak of my existence. I am willing and I am ready. Show me, sweet spirit, the highest vision you have for my life. What am I being called to be? I'm ready to embody it, to be it. And what must I release? What is it that is no longer serving me? Bring it to my conscious mind, and I am willing to let go. I am willing to let go of the old. I am willing to reinvent myself here and now as you show me and guide me. I am your hands, your feet, your voice. I'm ready to live my life serving the light of my truth, the vision for myself, the vision for my community, and for the world, holding the highest possibility. For I'm willing to be a presence of peace and to radiate love wherever I am. And taking a moment to be in the stillness, in the silence, we listen. And we know that we have set the tone, we have opened the door to possibilities. So greater and greater inspiration will be coming through, and we're open and receptive and catching it, whether it is now, later today, in the dream. I am paying attention. Thank you, sweet spirit, as you guide me moment by moment. And I know that here now all is well. And take a breath and gently begin to come back. Open your eyes. Feel your heart open, smiling, your whole body filled with the light of truth. And we rejoice in this awareness and our willingness to be renewed and being pulled by a vision. And we give thanks. And so it is. Namaste.
I'd like to sing a song by Jim Messina. It's called Follow Your Dreams. There are images around us in everything we see. Some are real and some are fantasy. To the one who sees his vision and to the child who lives her dreams, you're the one to decide what you're gonna be. So give it your best and don't you worry about what some may say. Follow your dreams, it's really all that you can do. You give it your best and remember that life is what you choose. Follow your dreams and do what you love to do. There are places you remember, at times you may recall, faces that refresh your memory. May the thoughts that you picture help you come to see that you're the one to decide what you're gonna be. So give it your best and don't you worry about what some may say. Follow your dreams, it's really all that you can do. You give it your best and remember that life is what you choose. Follow your dreams and do it. Follow your dreams and do it. Follow your dreams and do what do you love to do?
Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth, for your wonderful message. Living our highest existence in love, radiating light and love and joy. And to you, Paul, for your beautiful song, your beautiful music. We thank each member of our community for your ongoing financial support. Your gifts are vital in sustaining Unity in the Rockies. Unity has committed to supporting the Westside Cares School Backpack Project for 2022, and the cost of the blue ballpoint pens we agreed to sponsor is $75. So for those who wish to contribute, may do so using the donation link on our website. In the comment field, note that your gift is for the backpack project. Kayla, please put the donation information in the chat box and the affirmation of abundance words. And now let's all together say, divine love through me blesses me and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Now we have several announcements to share today. First of all, please return any books you've borrowed from the Unity Library by May 1st. I'm happy to report that books are trickling in. The fellowship hour has returned, although there will not be a fellowship in person today. But stick around after the service on Zoom, and we'll have Zoom fellowship, and Reverend Elizabeth will stick around. Now Donna Grant is going to share another announcement. Donna?
Hello. Good morning, and thank you, Reverend Elizabeth and Paul. I am the coordinator of fellowship, and this was a perfect Sunday and a perfect month because it's a month of volunteers. And I want to invite you to several areas of volunteering, of sacred service. We have gardening, we have bingo, we have hosting the fellowship after service, and also I want to invite you, our community, for an Easter potluck, and there's also a sheet for signing up to what you would like to bring. And so it will be held after the 11 o'clock service, April 17th, Easter. And we need to be out of the fellowship hall and the building, because High Plains is starting their services this Easter Sunday. So I want to say something about sacred service. It has absolutely opened my heart and my vision of what it is that I can bring to this community and the community of the world. And I never thought that just, doing gardening for Unity or doing a little bit of fellowship would open up a whole realm of giving and service and delight in my life. And I invite you to share with me and everyone else who chooses to do sacred service to open your hearts to being able to generate something that is so sacred and does elevate the vibrational frequency of not only ourselves, our unity community, but the rest of the world. So thank you very much. There are several ways to sign up. You can call Don Turner or email him for bingo. You can email me, dkgrant, dk.grant@comcast.net for signing up for the fellowship after service. And also, if you can't get to the church, you can also email me what you would like to bring at the potluck. And we're just so thankful for anything and everything. And I hope you have a great and blessed day.
Thank you, Donna. You're so right. Volunteering just lifts our spirit, and serving just helps us to step into something greater than ourselves. It's very spirit opening, heart opening. So thank you. Again, Reverend Elizabeth will be staying in the Zoom room following today's service, and we hope that you can stay and participate. And lucky us, she's going to be our speaker again next Sunday. So be sure to join us. As we continue our search for a permanent senior minister, I ask the community to join with me now to say our affirmation together for a new senior minister. Kayla has put the words in our chat box, I see. And so just go ahead and let's read together. With gratitude for the past, we align vibrationally to demonstrate and attract the highest level of leadership in accordance with cosmic law for Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. Following the service, if you'd like to stay for fellowship on Zoom, simply stay online. And now our prayer chaplain, Carol Crosley, will give the closing prayer. Carol?
All right, as we close with prayer, let us be mindful of today's lesson, releasing the old and renewing ourselves in spirit. Let us just breathe in that divine love and peace. And breathing out, releasing all those beliefs and habits that no longer serve us. And we center into divine alignment and love. Going into our heart space, we remember to honor our unity principles and live the truth of who we truly are as we radiate light and peace to the world. Now let us also remember the dear ones we hold close to us in our thoughts and prayers. Let's say their names aloud. And I behold the Christ in you. Envision your loved ones wrapped in the arms of love, fulfilled with health, joy, peace, and whatever they may need at this time. We see them blessed, healed, and prospered in all ways. And we give thanks for our unity in the Rockies Spiritual Center. And we are grateful for all the blessings we will receive. And as we go forth this day and this week, we say, I bless you as I am blessed. And I give thanks for this day. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Amen.
So let's close out with one light. Let the light within you shine. We are all connected. Look into another's eyes. See your light reflected. We are one light, shining souls in harmony. We